Hi. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yesterday, I mean, there was a comedian, a very famous comedian, who said once that the difference between Trump and the other politicians is that Trump openly tells you what is happening behind the screens, behind the closed doors. And it was absolutely fascinating yesterday in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia. Fascinating. I mean, outstanding stuff. You had Trump going full assault on the Pentagon. He said the neocons, but that's a code for the military, for the generals. And for those who don't understand this marks the end of the America First policy. So basically, Trump went to another country to strike or to launch a strike against an opponent in America, a political opponent, which is the military. You might be surprised, but this is very normal in Washington, D.C. And again, the difference is that Trump is doing this openly, publicly, whereas it's pretty much standard procedure behind closed doors, as that comedian pointed out. For another example, he sent out Scott Bessent to capitulate to China about China's holding of U.S. treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. They have, I think, about 800 billion U.S. treasuries and about $400 billion of mortgage-backed securities. And they pretended, Scott Bessent went there to negotiate trade deals, but Scott Bessent is Secretary of the Treasury. He has no clue about trade deals. So he went there to beg the Chinese not to dump U.S. treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. And that would shoot up the interest rates. And at the same time, he is openly castigating, he is openly insulting Jerome Powell of the Federal Reserve because he wants him to lower interest rates. So I give you two cases. The third case, the third proof or evidence is that he denied that equipment, weaponry, and intel. He denied that he gave the order and that the equipment, weaponry, and intel was not going to Ukraine. And what actually happened is that he gave the order, but the military generals, they refused to submit to Trump because the orders were illegal. So they were doing what Congress had funded and had ordered them to do. So you see here, on the other hand, you have the military, the Pentagon, continuing to establish a military industrial union with Europe. As you can see, the America you think that is not. It is pretty normal that a lobby or a power center in DC, banking lobby, industrial lobby, the military, the IT lobby, it's very normal that they would cooperate with a foreign country or the foreign power against another power center in Washington, D.C. It's very, very, very normal. We're just seeing it now openly because Trump is mentally unstable, so he says things the way they are, and he shouldn't. But again, that's what happens. But that's pretty normal. And that was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Trump capitulating to China, and Trump asking the help of Saudi Arabia against the US military. Again, it is very, 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 very normal. And this will continue. Right? And that is why people don't understand how DC works. The president is almost nobody. And the true power of the president is to organize the consensus of the different warring factions in DC. And if the president doesn't do that, it is de facto dereliction of duty. And when that does not happen, Washington, D.C. goes into self-immolation mode, self-destruction mode, which is underway right now. Because Obama and Trump refuse to do their job, which is organized consensus. Nothing else. During Biden admin, it was one person who did that work, and that was Gina Raimondo. And I'm hoping that she wins the presidency in 2028. And that's what I wanted to say. It was absolutely fascinating. I was just absolutely blown away when Trump launched an assault against the US military in Riyadh. Wow. Wow. The worst is yet to come. Make no mistake about it.